Hey, so I just want to talk about this new language, Carbon, which is, as you can see, an experimental successor to C++. This is Google's C++ quote-unquote killer, although no one's actually saying that. But the key feature is it has interop with C++, so you can write, I guess you can write Carbon directly in your legacy C++ code base, and it just works. I mean, I think there's not really much to say about the actual language because there isn't really much here. But one thing I do want to talk about is kind of Google, and not just Google, but the kind of the software industry's way of setting up these languages and kind of open source quote unquote communities in general, because it strikes me as odd that you have this language where it doesn't seem to be, other than C++ interop, which I guess is its main feature, there doesn't really seem to be a clear kind of vision or design goal for the language. Like, they talk about memory safety in passing, so it's not doing what Rust is doing. It doesn't really talk about moving away from. I don't see any explicit talk about moving directly away from C. I guess it's just implied. It kind of just assumes that you know what is good, and they're going to do the good stuff, which maybe I am not really aware of what's good, I guess. But to go back to what I was talking about before, I just find it odd that they have so much stuff about how it's going to get run. So how the community works, how proposals work. You've got this kind of ominous join us thing here. Carbon is committed to a welcoming and inclusive environment where everyone can contribute. Now, maybe I'm just crazy, but there's something about that just doesn't. And I see this everywhere in open source. It just seems so trite, so not true, right? It's just not something I would ever say if I was setting this up. I would say something like, we welcome proposals, or we welcome contributions. So just something simple. But this is signaling something I don't understand, I guess, because I'm not from this world. But anyway, if we go to like the code of conduct, and it's just pages of stuff. Like, I get it. I get that you need to kind of do this, but like it just goes on and 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 on. And this is the thing here. I think it's just, maybe I'm just talking about online spaces in general, but you can't say that they're trying to emphasize that they have this nice flat hierarchy. Everyone's involved. We're all holding hands, and everyone's voice matters. But if you say the wrong thing, you get banned, though, which, practically speaking, is like you need to do that because some people are just going to take the piss. But who has the power to ban the bad people? There's a hierarchy here that you're not talking about already, right? The conduct team, the moderators. I mean, okay, who picked those people, right? You can't have. It's like they want the best of both worlds. They have this strict authoritarian, like behind the scenes setup, and then they're telling you that, oh well, you're important. But are you though? I don't know. And if you go to the contributing guidelines, so if you want to contribute, okay, you can you can basically comment on proposals. You can make proposals. Normal stuff, right? Again, just so much freaking words. But if we look at like the evolution process for making a proposal, yeah, again, more crazy words. Carbon's evolution process uses proposals to evaluate and approve significant changes to the project or language. The process is designed to ensure these kinds of changes can receive feedback from the entire community, resolve questions and decide direction efficiently. Create a clear log of the rationale for why the project and language have evolved in a particular direction. But who set up this way of governing, right? When did I mean, maybe I'm being ridiculous here, but like, I think my problem is the wording implies that I somehow can affect this process. I guess I can if I get onto the board or something, or I make it. I guess I make a proposal to change the way proposals work, but no one would ever do that, would they? But anyway, okay. So how do proposals? Proposals consist of a PR in GitHub that adds documents to the proposals directory, which I saw earlier. So there's a big directory. You literally just have a markdown in there where you say what you want to say about your proposal. Proposal PR start in draft mode. When proposal PRs are ready, click ready for review. This is, and this is my problem with GitHub. The whole thing is set up like you're constantly being reviewed or verified or going through hoops for these. Some person behind a screen is constantly judging you. This results in carbon lead being a carbon lead. So who the hell are the carbon leads? How do I become a carbon lead? For the entire, so you can get everyone to comment on it, but the carbon leads are the only ones to review it. A carbon lead will be assigned to proposal PR. So they approve it. So it doesn't get collectively approved. This is my, again, maybe I'm just, this is just, this, it's not just carbon that's the problem here. I think this is just years of using this stuff and seeing how they've just like spewed this stuff out. Like it's just, they know this is what you're supposed to do. Like before they even know what the hell the language is doing, they're like, oh, well, this is how we're going to do everything. Well, like, where did this idea? Where these ideas haven't been battle tested, have they? Like, who's deciding this? So, a carbon lead. Let's find out what a carbon lead is. Carbon leads are responsible for reviewing proposals, setting up carbons. I mean, again, where the fuck am I? Oh, I'm still in the evolution MD. Okay, it's not another crazy document. The team should broadly understand both the uses of carbon and the project itself in order to factor different needs, concerns, and pressures into a consensus decision-making process. Oh, so these three people, which are the Google people. So, as carbon grows, the leads may decide to form sub-teams. Oh, you can't become a carbon lead. The painter. The painter is a single person in order to keep decisions around taste aesthetically reasonably consistent. The current painter is Shan. Let's see. So you've basically got three people. They decide everything. And you, the plebs, can submit your comments as a document, which then get reviewed, I guess. Now, I can't say I'm surprised by that. In fact, I kind of agree that's how it should be done. In fact, I kind of think that you should just have a group of people who decide the vision for the language and they do everything. I don't think you should have community involvement because this is fake community involvement. This isn't community involvement, man. And that's my problem with fucking open source is it's just pretend, or at least open source languages. You don't have. It's not a consensus decision making process, is it? If three people finally decide, that's not consensus. So why is this so damn complicated? And why is the software industry like this? It's so weird to me how it's so insistent on pretending that it's like this happy-go-lucky kind of we're all in it together thing, and it's just never is. It never is, and like that's fine, but just say that. I don't understand like pretending that Like, do people get off on like being part of the Carbon community or the Rust community or the C++ community? Like, what? It's a fucking you just write code in it, man. It's not setting my fucking tax rate or whatever. It's not affecting my life in a significant way, really. Well, maybe because I'm lucky and C++, as much as I have a problem with a lot of what they add to it, the philosophy has always been, well, you can write C++ in a way this shit doesn't matter. I guess when you've got three people who can make a breaking change, because that's a big thing about Carbon's philosophy, yeah, suddenly you do have to be involved in the community, because they might just suddenly turn around and go, well, you know what, we're just going to break this shit, because that seems to be the modern tech thing anyway, not maintaining any backwards compatibility whatsoever, because, well, you know, you should constantly be monitoring and be part of this fucking community where you listen to three people tell you what you need to do. Yeah, no one has time for that. No one who's doing any work has time for this shit. Come on. So stop pretending. Maybe this is turning into an insane rant again. But again, I think there is some truth here. Okay, just bear with it. Um, like I fucking hate the software industry. Ugh, it's just so annoying.